This episode of a Hero's Journey podcast is brought to you by SMP Inc. Let them rebuild your confidence. JPS Computers out of Oregon. Thank you, Jesse. And a shout out to the listeners on Rock Rage Radio. I'm going to pass this over to my co-host and let her introduce our hero of the day.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Hero's Journey podcast. I'm Danielle Vasanova with my co-host, Brian Hopkins. And it is my absolute pleasure to welcome Dr. Kiran Dintyala, a.k.a. Dr. Calm, to the show today. He is a doctor, an author, a speaker, and a stress management expert. Dr. Calm, welcome.
Thanks, Danielle, for the warm welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, well, that was an introduction. I love that. You were so pro at that. I'm sorry, Doc. There's no way I would have got that name like spot on. I'm going to call you Dr. Calm for the rest of the show and just let Chase, who's running this show, throw your name up there for everybody to see and identify. So thank you and welcome to the show.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Just saying your name, Dr. Calm, makes me feel calm. We live in such a stressful world and a stressful career path that we've chosen. It's fantastic to have you on the show. So tell us, how did this journey begin for you? Did you always know that you wanted to go into the medical field?
Oh, yeah. Even from a very young age, I grew up with this idea that I wanted to become a doctor. And I think one of the reasons was that, my sister has cerebral palsy.
Oh.
And so when I was growing up, I was aware of it. And then, I always felt like, I could help people like her if I became a doctor. And, there was another very interesting experience. I was barely second grade or third grade, I think. And then one day I was walking and then there was a beggar on the streets. And then I had this very little money in my pocket. And I just came out of my home to buy a popsicle. And then I saw this beggar. And I was debating, should I buy a popsicle or give it to him? And that was in that struggle, I said, okay, I'm just going to give it to him. But after I gave it to him, I don't know why I did it. I was so little, I didn't even know, what exactly I was doing. But after I did that, there was some sense of satisfaction that I don't know, I can't explain even now, but a fulfillment, whatever it is. And then looking back, at the time, probably I didn't know, but looking back, I think that was one of the key experiences in my life when I decided, I think there is something good about serving people, helping people. And I'm sure that played a role along with everything else for me becoming a doctor, I think.
That's incredible. So many times when I've talked to doctors, the story is, it's not that, but it's similar, wanting to help family, wanting to, seeing themselves in the future and wanting to help their parents and be able to be there for them, or at least have the knowledge of those things. And for you, you had an experience at a young age. And I know that I decided at the age of 8, I'm never going to drink or do drugs in my life. And that was something that stayed within me and made me become the person I am today. And that little moment that stuck with you. What they say, there are 10 things that happen in your life before you're a teenager that kind of identify who you're going to be as an adult. So that's amazing. So what made you get into the field that you're in now? Dr. Calm, what made you take that approach?
Sure. And then, so in my journey, after I became a doctor, like after I did my med school in India, and then I came down to the United States for higher studies. And, I wanted to do a residency, and then become a doctor here. So in the process, I went through so much stress, especially in the early days of my, journey here in the United States. And then during the time, everything was falling apart.
How's
Financial problems. Um, what I wanted was not happening. And I made, my dad said when I was coming here, you have to go there. I'm just going to support you for the first semester only. That's it.
Oh, wow.
I was doing my master's in public health. I gave you everything that I could. And I came from a very average family, middle class family. And then in the midst of all that, there was so much pressure on me. And when I was crumbling under that pressure, when everything was being taken away from me, actually, in fact,
Which happens to us all.
mm,
yes. And during that time, I started looking for answers. Like, what is it? If I work so hard, I'm committed. I think I'm reasonably smart. And if all that cannot give me success and happiness, then what is it?
Right.
Why I'm feeling so anxious, worried about whatever that did not happen. And during that period in my life, I stumbled upon certain principles and techniques that helped me calm down instantaneously. Instantaneously. And once that happened to me, that's it, everything changed. Actually, a series of miracles happened in my life.
really?
And everything within the next couple of months, I was back to where I should be.
What
You
kind
know,
of, when you say miracles, what kind of miracles did you experience?
oh, this is a very long story with so many things. This would take at least,
Oh, okay.
probably
Yeah.
2 hours to tell you. But, in brief, briefly, um, that calm state of mind has put me at the right place at the right time, bringing me the right opportunities. And I also felt a deep sense of peace and
Mm.
joy within. It just took me where I was going. It's like, at the time, I was like a traveler, sailor, stuck in a big storm in the middle of the sea. And then that calmness had shown me the light
Wow.
to reach to the shores of peace, success, happiness, and all the things that I was looking for. And that is when I decided, you know what? This is it.
There's
This
something
is
to
the
this.
missing factor.
Yeah.
Hard work, commitment, smartness, all those things are needed, but calmness is the catalyst for happiness and success. And I want to dedicate my life exploring this more and then also share with people about this. So that's how it started.
Now you said that there was techniques that you used. Were they things that you derived yourself, or was it something that you heard from somebody else?
Um, Initially, when I was under this great amount of stress, two things happened. I was doing my master's in public health at the time.
Mm.
And during that situation, my mind was um, totally negative, anxious. Thoughts were running at million miles per second, and I was like, what to do now? And then I was looking on internet and all that. So, and then I found that in this university there is a professor by name Judith Sedgman. I respect her so much now, but at that time I didn't know her. I was simply looking for stress solutions kind of stuff. Okay.
Wow.
And then I found her, and then I walked to the university. I used to live in a small dorm, and then it was like 15 minutes or 20 minutes walk, and went there and knocked on her door. It's like 2:50 p.m. in the afternoon. I still remember. And then she looked at me, and then I said, "Hey, I think I'm going crazy. I need help." And she said, "Okay, sit
Jeez.
down." That's how.
Okay.
I was like, totally,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
And she said, "Sit down." I said, "Okay."
Wow.
And she said, "Calm down. Everything is going to be okay." And I was thinking in my mind, like, how is everything going to be okay? Everything is falling apart.
Right.
And then she said, I really would like to help you, but I have a class to teach like literally in 5 minutes. So I really got to go. And I was disappointed to hear that initially. But she said, we'll talk, but, here is some reading material and all that, and she gave me audio CD. And I said, okay. I dragged myself back to my dorm 20 minutes away again. I had nothing better to do. Went there and then opened the reading material. But, my thoughts were so restless, I couldn't really
Connect. Yeah, just
understand
get through it. Exactly. Right.
what is going on. So I said, okay. So, and then I borrowed a CD player from my roommate, and then I put the headphones on and started listening. And then 10 minutes down the lane, I started feeling a sense of deep peace. I said, wow, how is that possible? Nothing changed around me. It's like as if someone pushed brakes on a Ferrari that is running at, 300 miles
Exactly.
per,
Yeah.
So it came to a sudden halt. All the negative thoughts, as if someone has vacuumed out all the negative thoughts out of my head. And okay, that's good. So I'll continue. So I continued for another 5 minutes or so. And then I started feeling joyful.
Wow.
And then I was afraid because I put down the audio CD,
Right.
the headphone. Like, it's just not possible for
Right.
someone to have all
Well,
these financial problems.
You're doing that with us right now. Just the way he's talking to us and the way you are
Oh, yeah.
sharing this story has
It's like a meditative state.
exactly,
almost, right?
and it's taking us through this little ride like we were with you on that. We can almost picture it.
Yeah.
Not to move this forward, but I want to know more about what you're doing now. What is it? You have your website. You're an author. So how is it that you are helping people today? What is it? Yeah.
What
Sure.
sort of techniques do you
Yeah.
use in helping people? I know that, both he and I are in the entertainment business, and I know a lot of people suffer from anxiety and depression, and
Yes.
the list goes on.
Yeah.
And what are some ways that some techniques that you use to help people?
Absolutely. What I did, after that experience, as I continue my research and study and experimentation, all that. So what I realized is, in this world, people need something that they can latch on to, even for a little time, so that they can experience what I experience. How can they reproduce it, right? I created a system called the PET system.
Pet?
P-
Like your
yeah,
pet?
it's called a PET, like a pet. PET system.
Okay.
P stands for 3 principles. E stands for 2 relaxation exercises. And T stands for 1 calming technique. And when you learn this system, which is I put together actually, when you learn this system and spend even that 15 to 20 minutes a day on this, I would say like 90% of your stress problems can be taken care of. 90%. And I have seen this again and again in my clients, in my patients, in my seminars, retreats, whatever I do, it just works.
After how many days of using it? After one day, after a week, after a month?
Okay.
Immediately?
I had immediately, like I have done like literally like some time ago, I was just doing this a couple of months ago, actually, a seminar. Okay. And then half an hour I spent just simply explaining, some of the techniques actually. And then at the end of that, we did the relaxation exercise and the technique. Right after that, that person, there are many people there, but I'm talking about a specific person. She never did meditation. She never did any of that sort, relax. She said, this is the calmest and the most peaceful I have been in my life. And she's like around 65 or so.
Oh, wow.
So she knows.
That's somebody set in her way.
Right.
And you just imparted this information on her and changed her life within minutes.
This happens all the time. All the time. Like it could be just a seminar. You could be coming to my office, and then I'm sitting there. It's just my first session. I have another lady in my office, and we spend an hour or so. And she had so many problems, seizures because of alcohol withdrawal. She was in a psychiatric facility because of anxiety, depression, all that. And at the end of 1 hour, she again has same experience. This is the best I felt in many months. And after that, she, emailed me saying that I didn't sleep well for almost a year, and this is the first night I slept peacefully.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's
So
incredible.
it's nothing about me. It's about the principles. It's about the teachings, and it's really works. It really works. It gets to the core of the problem.
Wow. And so you took your journey and of like what happened to him, what happened to you, what you were going through, and found a way to help others, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, I was just scanning your website and going down through the site. On the site, walk us through. Chase, can you pull up his website for us?
Yeah, give
to
me just
see
a
that?
second
So,
here.
because I would love to see, like, the principles, the way that you take this approach. I mean, you said there's PET, there's PET, but you have a book, and I want to get into that book as well and talk about that book. So the listeners out there, people watching at home, can go find this. I'm fully intrigued because the both of us are going. Danielle she's never in one place for too long. I think you're leaving tomorrow, and she's gone again, and I am exactly the same way.
Yeah.
So we need these techniques. We need this in our life,
Yes.
especially.
Can
you
we
said
do
it-
anything right now
Exactly.
to fix ourselves?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's kind of wild because when you were sharing your story with us, I felt like I was sitting in your dorm room
Yeah.
listening to it, the headphones, and I didn't even know what was going on, but it was so calming. It painted a picture, and it obviously is the way you live your life. Because
Yeah, I mean,
even
you
in the
can see it.
background,
I was just going to say, even in his home.
the
it
way your
looks-
home is, the way we set up this
Yeah.
show, the way we had to put the logo and the colors, you live it, and that's what it's supposed to be like.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Exactly.
Right.
And I almost feel like my energy is too amped up for this show right now. I need to calm down.
We don't want you to calm down right now. No, not
No,
right now.
not right now. Yeah. But
We're sending you to San Diego
Exactly.
to see Dr. Calm, Brian.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
I've got your website pulled up right here if you're ready to walk us through it there.
Sure.
Yeah, that would be great. I love it. Healthy mind, healthy living. So is that your book that we're looking at there?
There is a book section actually
Okay.
here. If you go, I think to the store, I believe, or something like that.
Could you tell
there.
everybody the name of your book and where to find it?
Yeah. So there are many books that I wrote, but
Oh, wow.
I would say, yeah, calm in the midst of chaos. If you can hold on there, can you scroll up a little bit? Yeah. Calm in the midst of chaos. I think that I would call the master guide for stress-free living. Or it says that Dr. Calm's prescription for stress-free living, and I would say it is a master guide because I have put together everything that I know, at least as much as I could, in the simplest format for people to understand and experience what I experienced. Actually, in fact, just last evening, serendipitously, one of my friends, I gave this book to him when I met in a recent conference after a long time. We didn't meet for almost 10 years. So when I met him, he is a good friend of mine. I gave this book, and usually I give it to my friends, and most of them, they don't read. So this I gave it
You
to
need
him like
the
a month
audio
ago.
version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he read it and got back to me yesterday saying that, Kiran, this is amazing. And I was so happy that he actually read it, because most people don't. I know that. So
I
he
think
found
it's
so
going to be
much
the
help.
first book that I'm going to read. in a long time.
Ever.
No, in a long time. I'm serious because this is
gonna
very
hold you to
impressive
that,
to me.
Brad.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and you may just want, the reason why I say the 20 minutes part, let me quickly share about that actually,
Please.
because this is important.
Mhm.
I simply ask you, do you brush your teeth every day?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I think most people who are here, who are listening to this, most of the world does it, right?
Right.
We take a shower, we, feed our body. I mean, we maintain our body and we need to spend at least a couple of hours each day, right? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, taking a shower, brush our teeth and all that. What happens, let's say for a second, you don't brush your teeth just for a couple of days.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And what happens if you don't do it for a week? Don't
Yeah.
do it for a month? It's going to be
That's
terribly
Yeah,
false
that's-
smelling and no one can stand us, right?
Right.
Now, we
Not
take care of
attractive.
our body that way and we spend so much time. Now, most people, we don't take care of our minds.
Mm.
That's the reason, like, all the negative thoughts get accumulated there.
Mm.
Like, we brush our teeth, we floss, and we get rid of all the crap there, right? The same way,
We need to brush our minds.
get rid of the negative thoughts. Otherwise, they accumulate, and that is what is stress, essentially. Stagnation of negative thoughts is what leads to stress.
I read somewhere on your site that you said stress leads to, it's that silent, basically
Silent
people die,
killer.
silent killer.
Yeah.
And I read that on your site. Which,
Absolutely. So when you spend this 20 minutes brushing your mind every day, like what I call is practicing the PET system, it's like, maintaining your mind in a healthy state. So the reason why we all need to do that is stress, like you said, from a website, what I mentioned there, stress is a silent killer. There is no doubt about it. As a medical doctor, I see every day that people who are stressed, they get heart attacks, they get strokes, their blood pressure shoots up, their blood sugars, diabetes is out of control.
Wow.
Their immunity is low, so they are prone to getting COVID or whatever infection it is. People get autoimmune diseases, people get seizures, people get clots that form in their lungs called pulmonary embolism. People get what is called stress cardiomyopathy, where their heart balloons up. I mean, there are so many that I have seen personally and correlate with. So stress has its fingerprints on every single organ system in your body. And if you don't put a break to it, if you don't eliminate it from your life, or at least cut down significantly,
20 minutes a day, you're saying. 20 minutes a day. That's what
20
you're
minutes
saying.
a day. If you don't have 20 minutes, honestly, spend 10 minutes.
Oh, we all have 20 minutes. We can do it
Everyone
20
has 20
minutes.
minutes. I'm saying even those people who say like, I really don't have 20 minutes. Spend 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Is there
It's
any
going to change your life.
exercises or anything that you can share with the audience today of something that they could do to minimize stress?
Absolutely. I think I will be happy to help your audience take them through a relaxation exercise when at the end of this show, because I don't want them to fall asleep right now.
I love
That's incredible.
I'll be happy to. I'll be happy to.
Wow, that is really cool. So on your site, as I'm navigating through the site, so you do seminars, you have a book, you have the online site, and the seminars, where are they? Is it just in San Diego or all over the country, all over the world?
All over the country, all over the world, wherever people need me,
really
can invite me. Corporate seminars. Sometimes, I conduct my own retreats.
Okay.
So
you go to businesses, you go to, like, let's say a casino, and for all the staff, that kind of thing, and you walk them through. That's incredible.
Yes.
But that is, we're sitting here. This is something that we talked about. We need, that we don't know we need. You put it in the best way with the brushing your teeth and brushing basically your brain and letting, taking 20 minutes a day and allowing us to release this, because I carry it all the time. I have to take note in myself in the middle of a day and just and tackle. Like sometimes I just have to cross stuff off a list that helps me calm down.
To alleviate that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dr. Calm, what advice would you give to your younger self? I know that, I mean, going through school, putting yourself through school, coming from another country, all of that is extremely stressful. And I know it was, a big weight on your shoulders. And so knowing what you know now, what advice would you give to your younger self coming to the U.S.? And
I would
pursuing your
say
dream?
that, it is the same advice what I would give to anyone right now, which is make calmness a habit. A habit.
Part of your daily routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can be calm, I'm talking about not appearing to be calm, but
Don't fake
deeply
it.
calm within, right? It essentially changes the fiber of life. Everything changes. Opportunities come to you. There is less stress in your life. Your relationships are better. You're more joyful. And even when things fall apart, because, no matter how calm you are, the world is chaotic. Things are going to happen.
Wow.
You will not sink deep down into depression or despair. You'll be like, okay, all right. And you'll have the clarity to see solutions for your problems. You will have the wisdom to make right decisions. All that. Calmness first. That's my tagline if you look on the website and the logo.
That's incredible.
We're going to have to bring you back another time to hear about the miracles.
Yes,
as well,
exactly.
right?
We need that.
In the nature of time, should we walk through this exercise?
Well, when you say walk through, wait, in another time.
No. In the nature of time, should we walk through the exercise that he wants to show us?
Yes,
the audience?
but let's right now though. We're going to wrap up this portion of the show, and then don't go anywhere because we want you to walk us through this. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay, so for the listeners out there, it's drcalm.world, your website. The book that you were pushing again, not pushing, the book that is the master program of all this that I'm going to read.
Calm.
Yep.
Right?
What was the name of it, Doc?
Calm.
Calm in the midst of chaos.
There you go.
Dream, and I believe it's coming around to me.